My name's Emily Burke, a statistician in the Mountain Region. Today, I'm going to speak with you about Section M of the ARMS 3 survey, farm producer household income, assets, and debt.
Why does the USDA collect household information? To get a complete picture, we cannot understand why certain management decisions were made or the overall economic health of an operation without knowing what other assets, debt, or income an operation has. This is a farmer well-being survey. A farm or ranch could appear to have a healthy income, but if that income is only made possible by taking on household debt, the operation could indeed be in dire straits. Or conversely, an operation with little to no income could be made possible by off-farm income from outside the operation and be operating quite comfortably. Policymakers at the state and federal level feel they need this broader context in order to set good farm policy. To that end, we collect this information to meet congressional and executive mandates. The Secretary of Agriculture requires household income be reported concurrent with farm income, and Congress requires this information through the Family Farm Report. But the USDA and Congress don't rely on only their interpretation. This data also supports a robust research agenda that informs policy and programs relating to farmers and farm households, as well as answering questions such as, are farm households well off relative to the general population? How volatile is the household income of farmers? And do government programs make a difference? Now that we know that we ask about an operator's household income, assets, and debt in order to assess the economic health of America's farmers, how common is it for household members to work off farm? Household members, and even operators themselves, frequently collect income from off-farm sources. In 2020, 51.6% of farming households had income from off-farm jobs. The mean off-farm income of all family farms was $96,688 in 2020, with a mean earned income of $63,530 from off-farm sources. We define earned income as income derived from wages, other businesses, salaries, tips, and other employee compensation. Unearned income includes investment-type income such as taxable interest, ordinary dividends, capital gains distributions, unemployment compensation, Social Security benefits, pensions, annuities, and cancellation of debt, as well as distributions from trusts are also sources of unearned income. Operations can draw off-farm income from a variety of sources. We see here that about 55% of off-farm income came from wages, while non-farm business income and transfer income were also significant contributors to farm households in 2018. In question 1, we break out by value code other sources of income. The type of operation is correlated with the number of hours an operator has available to work off-farm. You can see in this graph, dairy and rice farmers spend less time off-farm, while cattle and hog operations have more off-farm hours. This makes sense, as dairies must milk their herd each day, while cattle operations can pasture their herd during business hours. It is important to note that in Section M, we are asking not about the operations income, assets, and debt, as those were reported earlier in the questionnaire. We are asking about the income, assets, and debt of the principal producer's household. We collect this household information not as exact figures, but using value codes. Once again, exclude farm income that was reported earlier in sections G, I, and J. We don't want to duplicate the on-farm books here in Section M. Section M is divided into 4 parts: income, spending, assets, and debt for the principal producer's household. Value codes are used throughout this section, and can be found at the top of the section. One common reporting error is recording an operator's dwelling in both sections H and I as well as in section M. Either the dwelling is owned by the operation, in which case it can be recorded as an asset and expense in sections H and I, or it is owned by the producer's household. Section M refers to mortgage interest, rent, property taxes, and valuations of properties owned by the operator's household, not those owned by the operation. In this case, such property should be recorded only in section M. Once again, we do not want to duplicate the on-farm books. Questions 6 through 8 ask for the previous year's value of sales, net operating income, and off-farm income. These questions give us a metric for year-over-year comparisons. Once again, this does not need to be an exact dollar value. Please use the value codes for the appropriate range.
I hope you now have a better understanding of why the ARMS 3 survey collects information on household income, assets, and debt, that you can use value codes throughout Section M, and how to avoid duplicating data reported earlier in the survey. Thanks for listening, and good luck.